Now, why is that song running through my head? I'm all about that bass. Well, because I got a giant ass, probably. That's one of my wife's favorites. No, not particularly one of mine. What's her name again? Chick that does that song. Megan something? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's Free for All Friday. Why am I worried about such trivial things? Saladin is here. Johnny Boy and Anbu. Wolverine's in. Spazdev, Tyler. Phillips here. What's up, Doc? Yeah, the good old days. I miss the Saturday morning cartoons. Well, no, I don't really because I have anime and that's better. I guess I'm just feeling nostalgic because really, no, I don't miss them that much at all. Hey, Krusty Bomb. Megan Trainor, yes, thanks, Philip. I couldn't think of her name. Oh, my wife loves her. Master Z. This Van List. The Bester Azeria Retro Mint. Hey, Retro Mint Man, good to see you again. Nagi says one shots Meruem. Tiger 1 is in. Yeah, I've been thinking about I've been thinking seriously, but I really miss playing Minecraft. I think Minecraft has officially become my all-time favorite game. I think I'm definitely going to be as soon as I can make the time for it, I'm going to be restarting on that adventure to try and get to a Ender Dragon in hardcore mode. I'm not going to do it in streams. We already got a stream game we're playing, with Red Dead. I'll just do it in actual videos. But I wonder how many of you guys would be interested in going along on that journey. That journey might take us longer than it's taking us to get through One Piece on the Goosh. That might take me a while. Aiden says, we're in lockout 2 days ago when the guy shot up the Stop and Shop. We had to sleep in the school until he was caught the next morning because he lived in my neighborhood. Holy shit. I didn't even hear about that one, the Stop and Shop. Wow. That makes for an adventurous evening. Did you guys could you at least have pizzas delivered and shit? Or did you have to eat the school pizza? Krusty Bomb says it's important to have a good vocabulary. If I had known the difference between the words antidote and anecdote, one of my best friends would still be alive. That's good. And Aiden also says they set up cots and me and my friends watched your videos before I went to bed. The setup beds in the gym. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad I got to be a part of your adventure, and I'm glad none of you were shot. I've been playing Red Dead here on the channel, Tiger One. Red Dead 2. Krusty says, where exactly are you taking me, Doctor? Doctor, to the morgue. Patient. What? But I'm not dead yet, Doctor, and we're not there yet. Oh, yeah, Spazdev. Eric Andre is hilarious. Oh, something. I don't know if it's just I scraped myself when I was just shaving or what, but I got a boo-boo. Yeah, Eric Andre is hysterical. That's a funny dude. Talk about a sense of humor that fits perfectly in with our collective sense of humor here. Andrew says, I don't know if you're a fan of Looney Tunes, absolutely, but the 2012 version of it is so damn funny, really underrated show for its time. The 2012 Looney Tunes? Yeah, I don't think Anbu. Of course, when I talk Looney Tunes, I'm going back to the 60s and 70s when I was watching my Saturday morning cartoons. I don't know that I'm familiar with the 2012 version. I have to look that up at some point. They were my favorites. Absolutely my favorite. Let's see. Do I like Red Dead? I read that. Fast and Furious. I watched the Fast and Furious series. I watched all of or most of the first one. It's not really my thing. I never stuck with it after that. Nothing against it. It's just not particularly in my wheelhouse of fun. Krusty Bomb says, my boss said to me, you're the worst train driver ever. How many have you derailed this year? I said, I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track. No. Wow. And Brent says, Among Us? No, this is not Among Us. Are any of you guys sus? Brent wants to Brent wants to know if this is Among Us. Azaria says only. Hey, Lude. Only Red Dead I played were the first and Nightmare expansion, playing Johnny Cash. Man comes around while killing zombies. Yeah, see, I've only played. I watched Spaz Kid play a good portion of 1 when it first came out. I remember he was into it. But now I've started playing Red Dead 2 here at the channel, and that's fun. I am enjoying it. It's really cool. It's certainly a captivating world. You know, it's easy to get swept up into the world that you're playing in. No, Mark. Mark says, I hope I didn't miss the special touch, and there's always plenty more. Oh, I saw myself in the monitor there, and that just gave me creeps a little bit. Lex says sus. No, I don't like sauce. Come on, Lex. We all like a little sauce. Krusty says, my wife and I have made a difficult choice and have decided we do not want children. If anybody does, please just send me your contact details and we can drop them off tomorrow. Yeah. That's a good one. Mark says, haha, I need a shower now. I feel dirty. Well, to be fair, Mark, showing up at Free for All Friday, you're gonna feel dirty. We all do, but we wear it with pride. We wear the dirt, the filth, and the disgrace with pride. Gimster says, I woke up, made my breakfast, found a creepy old man on YouTube. There goes my breakfast. Doesn't look good for today. I like to think that I contribute to the regurgitation of many meals. And this, at this point in life, I got to take any little victory where I can get it. Well, I hope so, Azaria. Azaria says you make us all feel dirty with your touch. I would think so. Is the thumbnail pixelated again? It was the other day too. What the fuck's going on with that? Is that a new YouTube thing? I'm curious. Let's see. Where can I go to see the thumbnail? But I noticed that when the stream ended the other day, because when the stream ends, of course, it reverts back to the thumbnail, and it was all pixelated. What the fuck is this, Susan? I don't think she sent out shit for notifications today either. Mark's is very pixelated. Yeah, no, not on purpose at all. That's a complete YouTubeism. It's not the picture. I mean, we've used this picture many times for Free for All Fridays. It's one of the regular rotation, ones in the regular rotation. So it's nothing to do with the picture. Yeah. Wolverine says, "Here's a joke: Star Wars sequel trilogy." Lix has risen above. She says, "I'm always dirty. Your touch does nothing to me." Yeah, Vester says it's pixelated too. What the fuck? How is that a thing now? YouTube. Oh my god. Of all things, now it's too difficult for YouTube to post a thumbnail for a stream? Mark says she's specifically trying to hold your channel down. We're going to have to get it. Well, they did, for whatever reason, I'm not on YouTube's good graces, haven't been for a few months. There was a significant point in time where all of a sudden they just stopped recommending our videos out and stuff, just randomly. We didn't have any strikes against the channel or anything like that. It's just YouTube being YouTube. The thumbnail properly when picked could be Azaria, but then again, that's still on YouTube. It's just a simple, basic thumbnail. Hold on, let me see something. I'm curious. Are we having lag? Are you kidding me? That looked like it was lagging out for a minute too. What is going on today? Holy shit, you guys. This is going to be a long one today. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Unfucking believable. Oh my god. I can't take much more of YouTube anymore, guys. Yeah, I'm getting the lag too. It's just getting so old with this shit. all the fucking time. Hold on a second. I'll try something. Okay. Where are we here? All right, guys. I'm away from the chat for just a second. I'll get right back to it. Do 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 do. Gimster says YouTube had pixelated your face due to you looking like the Goose Man. I think they're trying to tell you something in a very subtle way. Could be, Gimster, and they don't need to be subtle about it. Just come right out and say it. Just say, "God damn, dude, you are one ugly ass old guy," and I'd be okay with that. All right, I'm running a speed test right now because YouTube put up on my dashboard that our signal's not sending them. I'm not sending them a strong enough signal. Right now, we have a download speed with a stream going of 470 megabits per second and an upload speed of 21 megabits per second. Now, they will tell you that I stream at 720 just to make it a little easier for everybody, depending on connection, even though it can be downgraded. I figure 720 is enough. So I stream in 720, but they will tell you that if you want to stream in 1080, you want to have a minimum upload speed of about 6 megabits per second, 6 to 7. We're at 21, triple that. And yet Susan is going to tell us that, well, there's lag right now because, as always, it's your fault. YouTube's never at fault with anything. Oh my God, that shit pisses me off so much. Well, thank you, Disvanless. He says, I think you're quite dashing. Let's see. It's a lot of megabits. Lex says, well, but that's what I'm saying. There's the signal being sent out is plenty strong enough, insanely strong enough. We're rated at what I have here now from Spectrum is rated in the top 10% in the nation for speed. And that's what pisses me off. YouTube never gives you a prompt saying, hey, we're having some network congestion. Hey, we're having a server problem right now. Your stream may be interrupted. Every time there's lag, they will send a notice telling you that you're at fault. Let's see. Hot damn, your internet is way faster than mine, Downward says. That's what I mean. I'm very fortunate, that Spectrum upgraded the system as much as they did for, doing this. It's very fortunate. And so that's why it pisses me off when YouTube tries to tell us that, oh yeah, it's on our end that this stream is lagging. It's the same thing as I told you guys, like with notifications and stuff. Whenever you guys tell me you're not getting notified and I go to them about a notification and they tell us, oh no, all notifications went out, we checked. First of all, no, you didn't check. Second of all, why would people make that shit up? Again, dealing with YouTube is like dealing with a 5-year-old. Yeah, it's not me, it's you. Always, Downward. They admit nothing unless they're forced to, unless some media outlet or something forces them to where they have proof that they're doing X, Y, or Z wrong. Outside of that, they will not admit to anything. Philip says, how much you want to bet it's because they think admitting there's a problem looks bad for their investors or some bullshit like that. Yeah, I think so, Philip. Or even more so, I think if they admit that they're doing something wrong, like as we say, like with the signal, they're afraid it will put off people from getting, because YouTube TV is their pride and joy. That's their golden egg. And I think that has a lot to do with it too, that people don't want to see, YouTube doesn't want anybody to see them admitting that they're having any type of server issues because they're afraid of how that'll affect people's thoughts regarding their YouTube TV. That's everything. Listen, according to YouTube TV is here, and I would put where us YouTubers are, but you can't get your hands that far apart. We're underneath the planet. We're several miles underground compared to where their YouTube TV is. This is just a nuisance, having to provide all these videos from people at home. That's in their own homes. They want nothing to do with that. They just don't have a choice. I'm here for my special touchdown. I won't leave till I get it, Rowan says. That a girl, Rowan. It's coming. It's coming. Hey, let me ask you guys too, because again today it seems slow. How many of you guys actually did get a notification today? Just curious if you got notified, because I know most everybody was finding their way in, um, through recommendation, sidebar recommendation, or being on the channel already or something. Mark says, I never understood getting YouTube TV. My Spectrum app pretty much does the same thing. I have YouTube TV, Mark, and I'm thinking of getting rid of it. For a number of reasons. Dealing with this stuff is one of them. Plus, there's some networks I want, and I have Spectrum for internet, so I can get the Spectrum TV if I want that. No notification for Rowan. Nolan did. Leslie did. Wolverine did. Okay, so a few of you did. Krusty came in through Discord. So some did. Lix did. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Philip says, I got one, but there's there's only 35 odd people in here, which really struck me as odd, especially on a Free for All Friday. Usually Free for All Friday, we stay into the mid 60s and 70s pretty much throughout. You got it a minute afterwards? Oh, so maybe they might still be going out then is the deal. Oh, no, the notifications issue with Rowan will never go away. And not just us. I mean, I'm not just saying that's directed at us. In general, YouTube is never going to fix the notifications. They have no desire to. They've made that perfectly clear. I don't understand the whole thing with the pixelated thumbnail. That's a new YouTubeism right there. Lud says, actually, the biggest issue with YouTube is internal disconnection. None of the department know what's going on with the others. That sounds entirely believable. There's no communication with each other. They're YouTubers, so they can't solve issues. No, I completely agree with that. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, and the thing of it is, since Google acquired YouTube, it's been obvious, and again, this isn't a complaint, it's just an obvious observation. They don't have any use for what built YouTube. People like me making videos and doing live streams right from their own home and stuff are an annoyance to them. They wanted YouTube to be a TV network. That's why all the early things that they were trying, YouTube Red, all that stuff, all the original programming, they thought they were going to make slick upper end programs and that would take over. Well, when they tried to do that, you guys, the people who watch YouTube, went, go fuck off. I mean, we come to YouTube because it is YouTubers. It's the people next door making videos. And then when the opportunity arose to try to create YouTube TV and compete in that market, that's where they started putting all their efforts. The only reason people like me still exist on YouTube is they know they have to have them or their audience is gone. They've got such a monstrous audience for, well, I mean, PewDiePie has 10 million subscribers. That's where their audience is. The only reason we still exist is because they need to have us. Because you can't sell YouTube TV if you don't have YouTube, if you don't have those eyes on all these YouTube videos. They want to be Netflix too, and we'll never stop trying. Exactly, Lex. Yeah, I don't. Again, it's not a complaint. It's just an observation. There's no sense in not recognizing something for what it is. YouTube doesn't give two shits about people that are creating for them. And if they do, it would only be the high upper end creators that they feel are bringing more eyes for their projects, such as YouTube TV. Philip says, Susan Wojcicki and Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars bitch, have a lot in common. They both think themselves and their product can do no wrong. I agree with that. Despite an overwhelming amount of evidence to the contrary. I agree with you, Philip. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I think you guys know I try and be fair about that stuff. The rare occasions YouTube has done something well or done something positive, I'm more than happy to talk about it. But overall, there is no doubt and no question that they would much rather YouTubers like me, we didn't exist. They just need us. Because again, YouTubers like me are what people come to YouTube for, and they need them here so they can sell their top line products. That's it. Lud says, Critical and Markiplier calling them out proved it. They both said they know people who work for YouTube and that nobody knows what the fuck is going on inside the company. Complete disconnected departments. That, like I say, that doesn't surprise me at all, Lud. That I wouldn't find that. I would be more surprised if it wasn't that way, knowing how dysfunctional YouTube is. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me at all. Mystic says, not even Twitch has it right with their insane double standards. I agree. That's why I don't go over to Twitch either. Hardly letting guys be sleeveless while girls stream bikinis and do basically softcore porn. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Twitch is absolutely full of shit. Has been for some time, because we get frustrated with things like what we're dealing with now with the stream. And people will say that to me, and it's like, dude, it's frying pan fire. That's the only reason I don't go to Twitch. They're a dumpster fire as well. It's unfortunate that these companies, that is basically how they get. They just feel like they're too big to fail and too big to be called out on anything. Doing good, Diego. Green has it right. Hell titties. Oh, yo, drinking. Big Green says, yo, drinking beer. Fuck Susan. Hail titties. Indeed, hail titties. Always. Always hail titties. So, I know there aren't many of us in here. Again, I don't think any number of notifications went out. But I'll post I'll post in the community tab when we're done here. The community tab seems one of the few things they send notifications out, and I'll ask the same question. But I'll ask you guys that are in here now. If I start on an adventure of trying, because I really do want to get back to Minecraft, of trying to get to the Ender Dragon in hardcore mode, and not in live streams, but in videos to the channel, in video segments, how many of you guys would be in for that? Because I am going to be playing more Minecraft. I have come to the conclusion that is my all-time favorite game. Gimster says, at least you're not having the same problems as some VTubers. A couple that I know constantly get shadow banned during streams, and another got disconnected 6 times in the same stream. Yeah, Gimster, I don't know what it is that you do to get on YouTube's bad side, or the bad side of their algorithm, or what it is, but we're on it too. Not for the streams. Again, they just randomly, a couple months ago, just randomly stopped recommending our videos and stuff. I'm up for that. I'm up for that. Sounds like that's fun. Krusty says. Saw says, yes, sir. Fudge Nugget says, Minecraft is great. I know a little bit about Undertale. I played a little bit of it, Nolan. Not much. Let's see. I went to all my classes and pretty much just slept through it, Rod says. Minecraft stuff sounds cool. Okay, cool. Because I really want to do that. And the thing of it is, guys, because I know a lot of people have warned me, and they're right. They said, you're going to get that Ender Dragon, and he's going to kill your ass. I'm sure he will. But I just want to make it to him. Now, obviously, that would be icing on top of the cake if I could actually beat the Ender Dragon. And if we start getting, I'll be counting on you guys in the comment section, if we actually start getting through far enough into a hardcore mode gameplay, if we get in there far enough where it's a possibility, I'll get all the details from you guys on how to go about fighting him. But I want to see him. That will be like, I'll be happy if he kills me. I'll be perfectly content with having completed the mission. But I like that playing in hardcore mode. The other thing I'm thinking of doing is, and I got to talk to BTG about this because we got some other stuff going on. But I'm thinking about reopening up another separate Minecraft server that would be strictly anime related. You'd have to be whitelisted to come in, and when you play on that server, you have to play with a anime character skin. And I would put some builds in there, like I would put in the arena from the Cell games and stuff like that into the server. No, I don't. It's not a question of whether or not it's going to be streamed, Big Green. It's not going to be, because then I don't get to play as often as I want, because I don't always have time to start up a stream. Whereas I know that with my schedule as hectic as it is, and I really want to play Minecraft, it's way easier for me to say, okay, I've got whatever, I got 30 minutes. I can quick sit down, throw up the green screen, and record. I mean, we're still going to game on stream, but it's going to be Red Dead 2 and whatever else follows that. That Minecraft adventure would be in videos. Now, if I do set up the anime Minecraft server, I would stream some of that. That server would be up all the time. You could go on at any time, but I'd stream adventures from in there. Is Moista Fista an anime skin? I don't know, Nolan. Somebody might have made one. Oh, is it an anime skin? Yeah, I would count that as an anime skin, sure. uh, would you rather be a smart fella or a fart smeller? Oh, that's an old one, Waterground. That goes back to my dad. That was one of his favorites. You just now got the notification, Wolfpaw? That's what I thought it was today. It's one of those, it sounds like one of those days where they're just going to roll out slowly. We've had a lot of days like that. Sounds extremely lame. I like it, Lick says. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Indeed, Philip. And I don't know, I just have, I've done a lot of gaming in my life, and I got to admit, Minecraft's my favorite thing I've ever played. And I couldn't even begin to tell you why. It's fun. It's relaxing. Well, mostly relaxing. Those couple times that I was playing hardcore mode and got killed by those fucking creepers, I wasn't relaxed, but you're shadow banned from where, Dollar? Philip says, I need Minecraft to decide what kind of character I want for a skin. Yeah, if we do it, I hope you can join, Philip. What we'll do, I will have, the only thing is, though, that it will be associated, and I'll explain to you why. It will be associated with, the server will be associated with the Goosh. It'll be associated with a $5 level at the Goosh, only because we had to learn the hard way, which is why we've had so many servers that we ended up taking down. You got to have a means of making sure that people are in there because they want to be in there. So we had servers destroyed through griefing. And I don't like, and no matter what you put up for defenses, they can get around it. And I don't like the idea of only being able to have the server available when I can play. I want it to be up all the time. So we would whitelist. But most of you guys, or a lot of you guys that are in here right now, are already members of the Goosh anyway. So you'd have to just private message me at the Goosh, tell me your screen name, and I would whitelist you onto the server. Is this a rare time you missed a super chat? Oh, did I, Wolverine? Thanks, pal. Oh, I did. Sorry about that, pal. Dirty cop gets gooshed by jury is the headlines. What headline is that? Oh my, dirty cop gets gooshed. Oh, from the trial, you mean? From Chauvin? Let's see, she played Dragon Boxy. Nah, Fudge Nugget, I like I say, because I really grown to like Minecraft, so I want to play Minecraft. I just think it would be funny to just have that be as a little angle that, everybody in there is going to be in a anime skin. And again, I'll put anime related shit on there, and then of course you can build whatever you want, but is this on console or PC? I think Kaiser, I know some of you guys, I wish BTG were in here. I know he's really well versed with Minecraft. They cross-platform now, don't they? I'm on PC, but I think you can cross-platform now. Does anybody know offhand for sure? I think I think you can cross-platform Minecraft now. Gone says, kind of sad there wasn't any riots. There's a few things I wanted from Target. Oh. Big Green says, I've once been shadow banned on Twitter. That's a more valuable achievement than getting one of them check marks, to be honest. I agree. I agree. That's way cooler than a check mark. Is Minecraft Java or Bedrock? Bedrock is all Java, is PC. Oh, is it? Shit. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Because Java's got a lot more, last I knew anyway, I always go Java because it's got a lot more options. Shit. I did not know that. Yeah, everybody's saying it's Bedrock. I'll have to read up more on Bedrock then, because I've always played Java. Crap, that's too bad. I knew there was some cross-platforming, but I didn't know what the details were. Nolan says, screw Ender Pearls. I'm waiting for the Dragon Balls to be added to Minecraft. Well, that's where, when I even get that far, that's where I really run into problems, because I have so limited experience in the Nether that as soon as I get to that part of the game where I'm exploring the Nether, I get fucked up immediately. As a matter of fact, if we go through this gameplay, if I get to the point where I'm entering the Nether again, I'm going to go in, take a look around, and then end the video for that day so I can post the video and get you guys' comments of what to do next and how to protect myself. Lex says, I wish we had riots. The worst our rioting got was some statue got graffitied and was immediately cleaned by some nice Christian teenagers. If you're looking out for some rioting, that's kind of like a major disappointment. It's like a... Wolverine says, don't know if it's cross-platform, but I prefer Xbox. It has Halo, but I do feel everyone has the right to play on what they like. I just ask that people be respectful of other people's choices. Well, I don't think anybody's hammering anybody about their choices. We're just talking about whether or not Minecraft was cross-platform. Like Hytale, it's a Minecraft S game, but with a more fantasy approach. Hasn't been released yet, however. But it'd be interesting to see your take on it. In my opinion, it's even more relaxing. I don't know once I get back from this trip from Disney, I'll have more time. Once I have more time and something, I might try something like that. But I'm definitely going to play Minecraft. Oh, really? Mark, don't, you're scaring me. He says the new Nether is pretty tough, to be honest. The new biomes and enemies make it rough. I don't need it to be any fucking tougher. I got my ass kicked last time down there. I went down and I playing hardcore mode. One of those fucking pig things killed me almost instantly, and I didn't even know what I did to piss it off. See, I don't know anything about the Nether, so again, if I go through with this, when I get to the Nether, because the only thing is with what I found is there are a lot of things that you guys helped me with when I was playing Minecraft and streaming. I've gotten fairly knowledgeable about the game now. But the decisions I have to make in the moment because of the delay on streams, you guys weren't able to help me with anyway, just because it happened too fast. By the time you guys are there to say, do this, do that, run away, whatever, it's already too late. So I'm thinking if I do it anytime when I'm playing it for videos, anytime I get into a situation that I think is going to be testy, I'm just going to stop there and watch the comments. I'll let you guys comment and tell me what to do. Excuse me. If I could create an anime, what would the plot be? It would be from Roha, the light novel series I'm still trying to get done. I wrote the prologue to it. Obviously, I would love to have that be able to be turned into an anime. That would be the entirety of the story. Lex says, I think all gamers are kind of sad. Stop it, Lex. Oh, that's right, too. Somebody did say something to me about that, Mark. Said, just remember, we're gold in the Nether. Yeah, there's so many things in there I don't... Again, I've gotten to the surface game through you guys. I've gotten to know pretty well. You taught me things that I didn't know. Like, really important things like that. A shield would protect me from a creeper. I didn't know that until you guys told me that. So at least I feel comfortable in the base gameplay with the knowledge you guys have given me. But when I go into the Nether, it's like, okay, this is a whole... I've got so little experience being in the Nether. I'm lost. I don't know what to watch out for. Who's super dangerous? Who's mildly dangerous? Arthur says, my girlfriend thinks she's not good enough for me and wants me to find someone else. She said for months. I can't convince her that she's wrong. Advice? Oh, it just sounds like it's a self-esteem issue, Arthur. Outside of, like you said, you're trying to explain to her that is not the case at all. It just seems like at a much deeper level, she just needs some significant help with self-esteem. There's got to be probably something in her life, in her past, in her current, that's making her believe that she doesn't have value, and that's sad. And a lot of people go through it. I don't know without knowing her specifically and knowing her personality and character, it's hard to give any real pertinent advice other than you're doing the right thing by encouraging her or by telling her that isn't the case at all. That's not how you see it, and that's not how the world sees it. That's unfortunate. There's a lot of people, though, that really struggle with that, with the way they see themselves. Oh, that's true, too. I didn't think of that. Tyler says, the server could be your practice round for when you do it in hardcore. That's a really good idea, Tyler. I hadn't even thought about that. So if I set up the server, because I'd be doing both at the same time. Like again, in the server gameplays and stuff, I would post streams and stuff to the channel. Yeah, that's true. Because then I can go in creative mode, and at least I can go into the Nether and look around, and see what the deal is, and see what's in there, and let you guys in streams and stuff explain it to me. That's true. I hadn't thought about that. That would be good. Gimster says, I remember seeing a Twitter post about a riot that happened due to Floyd passing. There was a white guy who went in with black rioters in a store to steal Legos. Do you think he'd fit in with us? Yes, I do. Gimster, I think he might even be here. He might be ninja watching. I would imagine he is one of us. Mark says, if you make another server, I'd still end up rebuying Java for that. I probably will, Mark. Again, I don't know how quickly. I'm going to start playing the hardcore mode again very soon, but the server I will set up. I got to talk to BTG because BTG is sponsoring some Minecraft gameplay on his server this month. It's still yet to come out at the Goosh, and because BTG and I have been together on Minecraft since I started playing Minecraft, basically. So I'm going to offer to him whether if he wants me to if I set up my server, if he wants me to switch over his sponsorship to that server, is fine. If he doesn't, that's fine too. But in any event, I'm going to offer him moderator over at the server I set up. Xander says, did I take my butt pills? Is pills a euphemism for something else? Because if so, yes. Oh yeah, you could practice beating that dragon bitch. That's true, Big Green. I hadn't thought about that. That was a good idea. If I have the server going as well as the hardcore game, at least that's right, I can go over in there and experiment, and I can do that in a live stream where you guys can help me just understand what's down there in the Nether. Because that's what I'm concerned about, is, knowing who I've got to run away from, knowing how, because that's what got me last time, knowing how to not piss things off. Because apparently I pissed somebody off. Well, it's just like what happened to me. Some of you guys remember, the first time I met polar bears. I didn't know. I saw this little polar bear. I thought, oh, he's cute as fuck. So I go walking up and I wasn't being aggressive. I'm typically a douche, but I wasn't being aggressive to anybody. I just wanted to go up and look at the cute little polar bear, and the mom fucking attacked me. Scared the shit out of me. I had no idea that was coming. Azaria says, last time my ex-girlfriend said the same. I simply said, you don't need to prove anything. If my affection I gave is not enough for her, then I simply let her walk away. Yeah, it's tough without knowing all the particulars of Gimster's situation. But sometimes it's just people just don't feel they have a lot of worth. Sure, and as others have said, there can be underlying factors. As people aren't always necessarily right up front with describing what they're feeling. But without knowing her, I can't say or even give an opinion. Other than that, it just sounds like she just has low self-esteem. Philip says, got to go plug in the water for the cattle. Hopefully I'll be back before the streams are. Oh, okay, Philip. No problem, pal. Mark says, basically always wear gold in the Nether. I do remember you guys telling me that. And don't mine gold or open chests in front of the pigs. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Those goddamn pigs, that's what killed me last time. It was one of those fucking pigs. And again, I didn't do nothing. Wasn't bothering them at all. Just being a dick. Yeah, Oh, I'm sorry. Arthur says Gimster says my situation. Did I say Gimster instead of Arthur? I'm sorry. I was talking to both you guys at once. I apologize. I'm not surprised though. That's another thing with the chair shots. I'm finding more and more recently, even with my own family. I say wrong names all the time. I should have gotten hit by one more chair. I apologize for that, Arthur and Gimster. I didn't realize I'd said that. Paladin says, hey guys, first timer here for the streams. Hey, good to have you. Been a huge fan of your videos for so long, so sweet to make it here on time. Well, good. I'm glad you could be in. I'm glad you could hang out with us today. It's kind of a slow stream today. We don't know how notifications went out, but as always, we're having fun. On Markiplier's Twitch stream, he said he took aspartame, and everyone made a joke about butt pills. Xander. That's pretty good. I'm thinking too. Not thinking. I've been working on it. I'm planning on going out and doing, now that we're starting to get out of the grips of the pandemic, going out and doing stand up again. But I'm not going to be just looking to book clubs. I'm putting together a full hour of material, and I'm just going to do the bookings myself. I'm just going to book bars, restaurants, things like that, and just do the performances on my own. How do I feel about soccer, Sploosh? I've never been a huge fan, just never really caught on with me that much. I mean, I don't have anything against it. Other than back when, I think I told you guys, when I was boxing, my trainer used to like to make me go down and run with a local soccer club for my cardio, and I hated that because I don't like running because I'm a lazy bastard. I love to see Curtis make a Netflix stand-up special. It's going to be that style done, Spaz Dev, yeah, where there'll be an opening act, and then I'm just going to do about an hour, and it's mostly all stories. And it's not like my stand-up used to be when I was doing it years ago, when I was doing it for a living. This is just going to be a lot of life stories. The opening, like 13 minutes, is all about my days in wrestling and the silliness that goes on then, and about how wildly racist wrestling locker rooms were back in the day when I first started out, and the first time that a promoter asked me to gig, to cut myself, and things along those lines. And then I'm going to talk about the years we spent, my wife and I, providing care for mentally challenged people in our own home, and Susie, the Down syndrome woman who lived with us, and got a bunch of stuff about my daughter and the trouble that her and I have gotten into. Despite, her being multiply disabled, we've still been able to get into trouble, and so on and so forth. I'll be listening to your comedy from the other side of the wall with a tin can to the wall, Mystic says. Lick says, Netflix anime based on Curtis' life. It'll be made by the same people who made She-Ra. Oh, thanks, Licks. That means it's going to be a bonanza. Mark says, ooh, you could do a Patreon thing for it too. Practice and do rewrites, maybe sell online tickets for it. I actually have, over at the Discord, our mod crew here, I think some of you guys are in here that were with me that day. I do run material across them. They give me good feedback. I had thought about doing an online show, but comedy is so difficult to do without any reaction. Now, if I could set it up, and I'd have to look, because we can't do it on YouTube, or I don't know a way to do it, where I could do an online comedy stand-up show, and I could have like maybe half a dozen people who can actually speak, be on camera, and interact, so you could at least have laughter and have reaction from a live audience. I would do that. Let's see. Sploosh says soccer, football aren't appropriate names for that sport. It should be called fairies jogging leisurely, Sploosh says. Well, I do know they tend to like to flop, even more so than NBA players, I think. The soccer players. Lick says, fun fact, Reboot She-Ra is actually an okay show. Is it really? It's just no one gave it a chance because of how bad the art style is. Ah, gotcha. See, I think that's true sometimes. It's like what happened with me with Black Panther. I never watched the movie, and I like superhero movies because as a kid, fuck off, Chain. I told you guys when I was a little kid, I was all about baseball cards and superhero comics. And I just remember as a kid, holy shit, when they came out with Black Panther comics, they were so slow moving, and it was just like, nope, can't do it. And it's like, give me an Iron Man. I've had enough. And so I had that prejudice in my mind. So when the movie came out, I was like, nah, I ain't doing that fucking movie. but now that I've seen the characters in the MCU, the Black Panther characters, and what you guys have told me about it and stuff, now I do want to see Black Panther. I got to sit down and watch it. Although, as a kid with comic books, I also didn't like Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four movies that have come out have been the drizzling shits. There you go, Johnny says, "God damn it, Susan, why you send me notification?" Yeah, I think they were really sparse this time, pal. MCU is magic. Somehow they even made Ant-Man cool. Good point, Mystic. Yeah, they did. They did. And Ant-Man was, like you say, in the comics was less than impressive, but that's true. You didn't like Black Panther movie, Spazdev? I do want to see it now. I have to admit, because again, what I've seen of them in the MCU, but that stuck with me as a kid. I started, I think, I might be remembering this wrong. I think Black Panther started out in the comics. They were like, they guessed it into somebody else's comic. Like maybe it was Fantastic Fours or something. But I just remember when they came out, reading their initial ones on their own. It's like, oh my God, this is so slow. And I couldn't get into it. Iron Man be like, I am Iron Man. For me, Kaiser. Oh, you gotta go to this area? Well, thanks for being in, pal. Lick says, I never saw Black Panther. I skipped a lot of the Marvel movies, and everything good about the character is done just as well in Civil War. Well, that could be the case too, Licks. It's, well, not necessarily Civil War, but maybe the best of Black Panther came out in Endgame or something, and so I'm going to be disappointed, but I do want to see it now. Where Ant-Man entered Thanos' butt. Well put, Johnny. Johnny says YouTube is really a molasses company. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, a molasses company. I like that. You didn't get notified either, Mason? Yeah, we're just talking about that. We know, we can always tell. When you stream as regularly as we do, you can tell pretty much where the viewership is going to remain, and it's been 20 to 30 viewers below average throughout, which means Susan just went, yeah, fuck you with the notifications. Tyler says, did you know that signing up for the military is stupid long, with the screening for me taking 2 days, with at least 12 hours sitting on my ass waiting? No, I had no idea. Wonder why they're putting you through that much rigmarole. I mean, especially as, the military needs people signing up. I don't, wonder why they're making it such a process. Captain Marvel is the only MCU movie that I hate. I couldn't even get all the way through it, Spazdev. I started watching, it was like, nah, I don't like Brie Larson in the character. So it was tough for me right from the beginning. There's just, and again, just for me, something about Brie Larson as Captain, not that Captain Marvel's character is bad. She's just off-putting herself. There's just something really unlikable about her. Same as I always felt for that chick from the Twilight movies. I can't even think of her name. Not that I was into the Twilight movies anyway, but everything she's ever been in, there's just something off-putting about her. She's just not likable. And I felt the same way about Brie Larson. Big Green says Brie Larson has no ass. Maybe that's it. Spaz Dev says, yeah, Brie Larson is actually the biggest flaw in the movie. Yeah, I can't warm up to her at all. She's just, nothing for me. Let's see. Kaiser says, the funny thing is, Iron Man wasn't even the first character to use the name Iron Man. Tetushin 28 Go from 1956 to the first Japanese mecha, otherwise known as Gignator, meets Iron Man 28. Really? Means Iron Man 28. Really? I didn't know that. Johnny says, Brie Larson doesn't take off her top, so I lost interest. This one's for you, Go if you're here. Oh, fucking Go. Another sad, desperate case. Dalwart says, yes, movies with actual people in them. I've seen those. Let's see. Spazdev. I'm not excited for Captain Marvel 2 at all, but I'm going to still watch it because I want to see all MCU stuff. See, I couldn't even. Well, I'm not as big an MCU nerd as a lot of people are. I enjoy them, but I've missed several, so it's not as big a deal for me. But I did try to watch Captain Marvel, but again, I couldn't even get through it. She was just so off-putting. It's like I'm not even enjoying the movie. When she when she shows up in Endgame, I was even like, get fucking out of here. I was glad she wasn't on screen much. Had they had her take out Thanos, I was gonna be pissed. All the time and interest I'd put into that whole storytelling. If they'd have let it end with her kicking Thanos' ass, oh, I would have been livid. Captain Marvel's biggest flaw is Captain Marvel, Big Green says. Falcon and Winter Soldier is pretty good. Personally, I like it a lot, Mystic says. I've got a few friends who have been talking about it, said they really do like it. I'll have to check it out. Sasuke says, you a PC, PlayStation, or Xbox gamer? PC. We used to play console several years ago, but Spazka and I have both migrated more towards PC. Way more convenient for me with, doing this too. Arthur says, UN elected Iran to commission women's rights. I saw that, Arthur. Sometimes I think the UN does things just to prove that they're a farce. It's like, you guys think we're confident, or you guys think we're legit? Here, watch this stupid thing we do next. Yeah, I saw that same thing. Steels says, hey man, I just want to say thank you for all your videos. You're so entertaining and hilarious. Been watching for years. Well, thanks. I appreciate that, pal. PC can be expensive. That's the only thing. But see, for me, Mason, with doing the videos for a living, of course, I have to have a decent PC rig anyway. So that that took away some of the expense. Is because I already, especially when you do video, because you guys know what a memory hog video is to work with. So I was kind of already halfway there. Yes, Iran, Big Green. That was again. The UN is a fucking joke. It truly is. It's become another overly concerned about PC correctness group of idiots. It's like letting Epstein run a daycare, Arthur says. Good point. Spazdev says, I like Captain Marvel better in Endgame than her own solo movie because she gets punched in the face by Thanos. Thanos is a legend to me. He's one of my all-time favorite characters. Well, thanks, Sasuke. I appreciate that. Yeah. Lute says, Iran's going to be the main advocate for women's rights to be stoned. Such progressiveness. Yeah, absolutely. That's just beyond stupid. That's moronic. But again, it's all for, it's to placate them or to show that they're welcoming of everyone. Doesn't matter how insanely stupid it is. Instead of saying, no, we're not going to put you on any type of human rights commission until you start treating human beings better. They're like, oh, well, no, here, you chair this commission, or you be a part of this commission, and I'm sure that's going to make you understand that you need to treat women better. Yeah, that's what's going to do it. Please. Doward says, I'm stoned right now. It's not so bad. It's to pamper everyone to be socially acceptable, right, Mystic? That's well, we see that going on all the time now. Let's see. Oh, you just finished watching the new video? Did you, Marco? That was freaking... I love Family Guy so much. Goddamn, so much fun. Mason says, Curtis 2024. Nah, we had thought about that. They'll never vote for me because the first thing I would... The first... As things have unfolded, it's become so obvious to me that what the federal government needs to do is send every bit of responsibility possible down to the states and local governments. I think, with the country in the shape it's in right now, there is no end in sight for the vitriol. I mean, you got two sides that just despise each other. All the polls will tell you now that people in America see other Americans as a bigger threat than anybody else in the world, than any international threat. And I think the only way you bring that down is to start letting people live individually the way they want. And the only way you do that is for the federal government to stop what they've been doing for the last several decades and trying to take more and more and more power and give them less and less and less power, shove that down to the state level and even further down to local governments, city governments, county governments. Let people make the laws wherever possible to live the way they want to live within their own communities. If you do that, I think you could finally get to a point where people aren't at each other's throats all the time. And it wouldn't even be that difficult, but it'll never happen because that would require these absolute fucking lunatics we have in federal government. That would require Congress to give up some of their own power. And those people are only there because they want the power. They want the control. Arthur says, not a fan of modern feminism, but Iran, I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Tyler says, but you could rig the vote so you get 100 trillion votes and win. Winter Home Game says, what games do you think of playing soon? You should check out The Village. Looks good. Resident Evil 8. No, we're just talking about that. I'm going to be playing some more Minecraft again. But yeah, I mean, to me, it just makes sense for everybody, and let people live where they want to live, where things are done the way they want things done. It's great, and it's even things like, even some of the big things. You talk about Medicare for all. There are some places that want it. I think it's a horrible idea. I don't think giving government more of my money is ever a good idea. I think government just making sure the playing field is level within the free market is how you go about it. But even that can be done at the state level. Stop pressuring the federal government to do it. Take it away from them. Each individual state, if you want to tax your people at the rate necessary to provide a Medicare for all or single payer healthcare system, they can do it. There's nothing stopping them from doing it. Everything. You can make, you could make laws on a lot of the hot topic items state by state. A lot of gun laws are state by state now. The minimum wage should absolutely be even more so than state, should be right down to local municipalities. Because again, I live in New York. Hell, you go 3 hours to the south and it costs you $3,000, $3,500 a month for a tiny little apartment, a little hole in the wall. Up here, you can get a 3-bedroom apartment for $800. Of course, you got to have different minimum wages. A lot of the anger and animosity could be solved by just taking the decision making away from the federal government and spreading it out to the lower levels of government. And it would get people interested in their local elections for once. Let's see. We're supposed to be a union of states, not a giant state. Exactly, Arthur. Exactly. And again, it's just, I don't say this for any other reason than to let people live the way they want and maybe get rid of all that hatred and everything. And again, and all the vitriol. But there's nothing stopping from individual states from putting in a progressive platitudes, again, such as Medicare for all and whatever else you want. You have two different ways of thinking in general on things. Some people want smaller government. They want the government to just basically be the mediator in making sure that there's a level playing field, but then let the free market take over. And then you have people that believe that the best method is to just give significant amounts of your money, of your tax money, to the government and let them provide everything for you. And if you could separate those two, and the way you do it is allowing state governments to be in control, then people can live where they want to live under the circumstances in which they wish to live. Spoosh says, Curtis, what's your opinion on China and then trying to fuck with Taiwan and the Philippines? China's getting really aggressive. They really are. I mean, economically, they've been getting aggressive for some times. They're getting really aggressive, certainly physically as well. And now we've got you got a media and politicians in this country that aren't even willing to hold them accountable for unleashing a deadly pandemic on the world. If you say anything about, well, who's at fault for COVID? Well, China. Don't say that. Somebody's going to act out against Asian people. Listen, if anybody's acting out against an Asian person because of COVID, they're a fucking moron. And whether or not you call out the Chinese government on what they did to inflict this on the world isn't going to stop that person from being a moron. It's just the facts, and I don't think I am appalled by how China has gotten away with this, and people are just like, oh well, it's it's Trump's fault, it's Cuomo's fault, it's this person's fault, it's somebody's fault in Italy, it's a politician's fault there, it's a politician's fault in the UK, it's China's fault. No matter how many ways you slice it, it started either in a lab, whichever you believe, in a lab, or in one of those markets in China. And neither one should have taken place because those markets are disgusting. They have been, and they've been being told internationally for years that they shouldn't be allowed to exist with all that blood just draining right through the streets of those marketplaces, all those wild animals stacked on top of one another, the blood commingling you're just asking for something like this to happen, and they were warned about it. Arthur says civil rights fails to account for masochists. Yeah, Luke says, hey, remember when Biden said he wanted to apologize to China because Trump said they did COVID? Yeah, that's because I've been into politics forever, and I never had anything against Biden, but he said stuff like that really started to put me off. It's like they did do it. It is their fault, 100% their fault. Delaware says Pepper's farm remembers. Johnny says people need to realize the ice is very thin in regards to them and us. It's not something to brush off. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Johnny. That things are tense. That may be, but again, regardless, you still can't allow them to go scot-free with no repercussions. And so what's to stop it from happening again? Because again, it's not the fault of the Chinese people. The Chinese people know what the government allows them to know. They aren't even aware that something like this could take place because of those filthy wet markets. It's the Chinese government that allows it to all happen. Rick says it was a random man in Italy who was making pizza and he sneezed into the pepperoni. And the thing is, things like this, you could have a pandemic, you could have a virus that starts in a certain area through no fault of anybody's. It's just the nature of being. And that can happen, but that isn't the case. You had things going on over there that were begging for something like this to happen. And it would have been up to the Chinese government to ensure that it didn't. Yeah, Biden's been around forever, as long as I can remember, Mystic. His name's always been in politics. I'm almost 60 years old, and I can't remember a time when he wasn't involved. Let's see. Kaiser says, I have an answer. Send in Darth Vader. He earned the worship of space hyenas and blue-skinned aliens ruled by a dragon. Good point. He does it. Yeah, he is somebody who gets things done. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it just... And there's a lot of things in our current society that have obvious solutions, but you'll never get to them because you have such an us versus them mentality. And that comes right from the top, the politicians. And plus the fact that we don't even have a media anymore, that there is, on a national scale, there's basically no media out there that isn't entirely biased to the point of where they slant their stories and only give partial information and from both sides. It's all the stuff that contributes to where we're at right now. Sasuke says people stopped wearing their masks outside because of Donald Trump. Some may have, but that you can't blame that entirely on Trump because Trump's been gone for some time now, and beyond that, you talk to the people that are anti-mask wearing, and you don't hear a lot of them speaking Donald Trump's name. They're just saying that they feel like it's an infringement on their right. I don't agree, but that's what they're saying they feel, is it's an infringement on their own personal liberties. I don't. Are there some that might have done it because of Trump? Sure, I'm sure there are, but not the masses, not the majority. They just feel like that's government overreach. And I am, you guys know, I am like hypersensitive to government overreach. I'm not a fan in any way, shape, or form, but that's not it. Now, as we're coming out of this, I think you'll start to see some areas where there's a lot of government overreach with governors and such that don't want to give up this control. But the mask wearing wasn't it. Mark says, I won't wear them if I'm alone walking around outside. Nor should you. There's no need to. But if I'm near a group or people or a store or whatever, I mask up. I do too. And that's the thing. That's why it's ridiculous. Then you'll have people online or even politicians trying to bring hate down on somebody because, as Mark said, you might be out for a walk. And you see that guy? He's walking without a mask. Well, of course he is. You guys, on the left, they're always saying, believe the science. Well, the science will tell you that, the virus doesn't transmit well at all outdoors, if at all. And certainly, if you're alone outside and there's nobody else around you, there is zero danger because you're not going to leave any droplets in the air that are going to be absorbed by someone else if they're not right in your immediate vicinity. And yet, just because of the optics, somebody wants you to wear a mask anyway, and that's stupid. That's when you get into overreach. Let's see. Cthulhu says the British know more about it than us. I'm not sure what you mean, Cthulhu. I bounced around on so many topics. I'm not sure what you mean, pal. Know more about which thing I was droning on about. Oh, okay. Johnny says, I'm saying our relationship is down very thin ice. True. It's very worrying times, especially with the cyber attack committed by the Ruskies late last year. Yeah. But it's, Johnny, as somebody with me being an old fart, and I grew up through the Cold War, it's not anything unfamiliar, to have things tenuous like this. And that, I will say, as tough as things are, and you're right. I mean, there is some thin ice there. It's not as significant as it was back then. And I think back then, there was a more realistic concern. Not that it couldn't happen, but I think the world has never been closer to an actual nuclear conflict of some sort. Because you had some people around the world that were itchy to do it back in the Cold War. Excuse me. FTA guy says, imagine getting the vaccine on April 1st and the doctor's like, it's just a prank, bro. We just injected you with COVID-20. That would be my luck. Arthur says, come to Japan with me. We just need money. Like I say, Spaz Kid and I want to go. I'm hoping I can afford it for when he graduates next year, that we can take. That's what he would like to do, is take a trip to Japan for graduation. Mystic Time says, time keeps moving. Things get bad, then they get fine, then bad, then fine constantly. Yep. You're right. It's ever revolving and evolving. Nolan asks the Zen question. If a man is maskless and alone in the woods and he coughs, does he have COVID? Yeah. Mark says, nah, they're injecting us with those 5G boosters for our phones. Yeah. Tyler says, did you hear about the 6 executive orders on guns Biden signed, which was basically lip service to look like he was doing something? Yeah, that's basically what they were, too. They don't accomplish much. Biden lost me on guns when he went so far. I do. Personally, I was resistant to this. You guys know it. But I've become of the mind that Biden's losing it. Everything he said about gun control with background checks, things like that, as a huge advocate for the Second Amendment, I don't have a lot of issue with. When he takes it so far as to say, well, and now we're going to go after the gun manufacturers and allow them to be sued when somebody uses a gun to kill other people. That's fucking idiotic. Again, the courts are based on precedents. So if you do, there's no way you can do that with a gun manufacturer and then not be able to sue an alcohol distributor or a car manufacturer when somebody gets into a car drunk and runs over somebody, because it's the exact same thing. Though that's not what they were designed for, and it's not what any manufacturer told you to do with them. So you can't just say, okay, well, you manufacture guns, so if somebody takes one of those guns and uses it in the commission of a mass murder, you're liable? Unless that gun company is promoting them as a way to go out there and mow down a bunch of your fellow countrymen, that's where he loses me. He just comes up with stupid shit because he wants to placate his extremists in his party. Monkey Hook says we should treat it the same way as we treated Ebola. So long as you're not licking every surface and washing your hands, everyone should be right as rain. And the thing is, too, Monkey Hook, as you know, as with what we know of and we've been very fortunate with the vaccines that they are effective. If you get it to a point where, if you can be vaccinated and still get COVID, they knew that all along. It's about 5%. It's 95% effective. But what we're finding is even the people that do get sick, it's either asymptomatic or very mild symptoms. You can get this to where even if COVID does continue to exist, it may not. Coronaviruses are like that. But if it does, you could get it down to the fact where it's like the bad cold or the flu. You know, because everybody's vaccinated. Let's hope the vaccines have long-lasting effect. And if you get it, you're going to get mild symptoms. It's entirely possible, too, that COVID could die out. Coronaviruses have done that in the past. Cthulhu says, my only fear with this virus is that it mutates at unspecified rates and those rates violently change, like heat killing it, got heat resistant. Well, that's what everybody's afraid of, Cthulhu. You always worry about mutations. So far, the mutations they've seen show no chemical makeup that they would be resistant to the vaccines. The vaccines should still work. But you're right. That's why it is so important to try and get the spread stopped, because you don't want this fucker to mutate even more. Dragon says, did you know that Germany invented sparkling water? Who else would think of adding gas? Dragon. Oh. Right. Like Mark says, yeah, coronaviruses are known to mutate. It's kind of their thing. Absolutely. Most season flus mutate a lot too. Yep. Absolutely true. But with coronaviruses, the past ones, some of them, when you get them to zero spread, they've gone away. Basically, that's it. So we can just hope that that's the case with this one. We'll find out. Hey, Chrome! Good to have you back. Excuse me. Let's see. Emma says, vaccines don't stop you from getting it at all. It helps you fight against it. No, that's not true. The vaccines that are out there, the mRNA vaccines, do indeed actually, it depends on what you call not getting it. Because the mRNA vaccines tell your system what is the coronavirus and to reject it. So you can say you got it, but you never really did. It never really took place because it never hooked. Because that's how this vaccine, that's how this virus works, is with a series of hooks. And it doesn't allow it to hook, so you didn't actually get it. It will, for the people who have had the vaccine, it's not 100%, and can still get it, then you're right. Then it knocks down the symptoms significantly. They didn't say everybody who's gotten the vaccine will still get it. 5% of people, as the numbers we have now, can still get it as far as the Pfizer ones. Money Hook says, my symptoms were no taste, smell, been sicker. That's what seems to be pretty much everybody I know that's gotten it had the no taste and smell. That's got to be a pain in the ass, Monkey Hook. All the people I know that got it all had that symptom, yeah. And then it's varying degrees of illness with it. DB dude. I took my girlfriend out yesterday. Being a sniper is awesome. Jeez, dude. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Monk in Disguise says, luckily I'm 16, can't get a vaccine yet, and have no responsibility, so I just sit inside playing games and doing my schoolwork online. But I do feel bad for those who have lost their jobs. Yeah, me as well, my friend. Me as well. It's terrible what happened, and we just didn't, well, and everybody's got a different approach on it. And it took us so long to learn how the vaccine spreads and what to do about it. Had we known when it got here what we know now, the obvious smart thing to do would have been start masking everybody up, social distancing, and let businesses stay operational with those safeguards in place. And that would have saved a lot of people's livelihoods and some lives. Dragon says, what's the difference between a Mexican and a stoner? At least the stoner has papers. Ah. Oh. Xander says, I say if COVID does not get contained, controlled, or eradicated in the next 2 years, I think they will have the potential to kill everyone, but that's my prediction. I speak from the mind of science. I don't know about that, Xander. There's no reason to believe, it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but there's no reason to believe that COVID will ever mutate into a global killer. You know, we have no reason to think that. Other coronaviruses have not. So there's no reason to believe it. You can't say it couldn't happen because they can mutate into anything. But I wouldn't be worried about that. Monkey Hook says no taste equals spicy food is your BFF. Yeah, that would suck, especially for a fat guy like me. I want to taste my food. Let's see. Sploosh says, damn, people really hate Susan this channel, huh? Well, it's become meme-ish among us as well. But no, and in fairness, when we say Susan, we mean YouTube in general. And the way YouTube has gone about things, as we were talking about earlier, YouTube doesn't care about YouTubers. YouTube cares about YouTube TV and projects like that. Hey, Maz. Good to see you, pal. Philip says, I'm honestly more scared of an asteroid destroying us a la Armageddon. I'm with you, Philip. I think that's a not that either one is likely, but I think that's a stronger likelihood. I would agree with you on that. People don't stop and think about that, how that could easily happen at any moment. At any moment, we have absolute zero control about it. We ain't gonna get it. We're not gonna get a vaccine against that. Cthulhu says, just realize this. All those people who don't believe in evolution, how do they explain viruses adapting? Evolution. Hey, you got a point there. Dragon says, what do parents and the Twin Towers have in common? Only one came back. Dragon, you're rough. Chrome says, so, just how we're reaching the end of Dressrosa now, yes. The arc's even longer than the current quarantine. Yeah. Xander says, okay, that's true. Good response, Curtis. I was really more just thinking of the hypothetical impossibility. Oh, sure. Like I say, you can't, like I say, Xander, you can't say it's impossible. I'm with you on that. It could happen. It's unlikely, but it could happen. And it's only unlikely because we've had so many other coronaviruses out there. Mystic says a badass movie would be astronauts go to the moon and then Earth is hit by an asteroid and humans are wiped out except for them or something. Yeah, the sole survivors. Yeah, but really, how long, what do you have for supplies? How long are you going to survive on the moon? But that's why there's so much interest now in colonizing Mars and moving humanity out into space, which humanity tossed into space is not a bad idea. Tyler says, what does cancer and I not have in common? My dad didn't beat cancer. Oh, Tyler, that's brutal. Jesus. Yikes. Lex says, fun fact, one of those mutations was discovered in my hometown. It caused the country to shut down during Christmas, even though they promised they wouldn't. Yeah, they did. Well, Lex, too, we know the UK got really over the top with the shutdown. Personally, I think they went too far. Again, because we've talked about it many times here, I have yet to see any real data that shows that going from taking the proper precautions, masking, washing hands, social distancing, going from that to hardcore shutdown has any significant effect. And there's plenty of reason to believe that it doesn't. So I think they went way too overboard. Dragon says Stephen Hawking once said there is no God. Then God said there is no Stephen Hawking. Hey, David, on vacation right now. Just came to say hi to my old boy Curtis and leave a like. Well, thanks, David. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're on vacation. Enjoy it. Fluffy. Susan and Satan have same syllables. Oh, oh, you guys are rough today. Glowing Galaxy says, what did the armless kid get for Christmas? Nobody knows. He has yet to open his gift. What's wrong with you guys today? I like it. Hi, Em. Good to see ya. That's good. Chrome says an asteroid wiping out the Earth becomes less and less likely each year. Honestly, our detection system is improving, and so is general space travel. Right, but how does detection stop it from happening, though, Chrome? I'm not denying we can detect them, but there are some instances, and some people say it's becoming less and less likely because of the Big Bang, and things are still moving out and away from us. Whether that's true or not, we know there's certainly enough space debris up there for something big to strike us. I'm not sure how, us being able to see it coming really helps us in any way. And well, we could always send Bruce Willis up there. We do know that. And his crew. Cthulhu says, what's the difference between cancer and SJW? Cancer does what it says it's going to do. Oh, man. A lot of cancer jokes today. Wolverine says, Saitama is Caillou if he survived his cancer and started doing push-ups. Right, Wolverine? Freddie says, in fun fact, there are no Taco Bells in all Mexico. Somebody told me that once, Freddie. I think it might have been here. It might have been here on the channel because I was actually shocked by that. I'm just, with American fast food joints being prominent everywhere in the world, to not have any Taco Bells in Mexico really surprised me. That's the only reason I remembered it. Dragon says race car spelled backwards is race car. Race car sideways is how Paul Walker died. Jesus Christ. Yikes. It's good. Em says, don't you compare Saitama to Caillou's dumbass. Chrome says, Scotland went even further than the rest of the UK in its tactics. It's a power trip for a lot of our leaders, especially the fascist one who's trying to ban free speech at home as hate speech. Chrome, and I've seen that, and only through you guys. What you guys have been describing to me throughout all this has just been mind-boggling because, of course, American media doesn't cover anything that isn't sensationalism, so we don't hear about, what you guys are going through. But just from what you guys have relayed to me, I think Scotland went way, way, way over the top. Egregiously over the top. Because what, you guys got, wasn't it back in December you guys got shut down through March? That's insanity. With the way all of this has changed every freaking day, what we know about it, what we expect from it, yeah, I'd have been livid if I was over there. Em says, if you go to Mexico and eat at a Taco Bell, you don't get to go to Mexico anymore. That's a valid point, Em. They would be well within their rights to say, yeah, you can't fucking come back. Get out. Download says, Musk said something along the lines of generating mini-suns on Mars via repeated nuclear explosions. Can't remember the reason for why, though. Really? I think Elon Musk is equal parts genius and lunatic. So it's you always have to try and determine which side of the brain something like that came from with him. Oh, Daniel, what do you call a fat kid? Names. Oh man. Philip says Italy went to war with tankettes, making up most of their armored forces. That's like building a football with only Christopher Reeves after the horse. Oh. Chrome says we got locked down on Boxing Day. I'm still in lockdown till the 26th. Though my work opened up a few weeks back because yeah, Chrome, I'm stunned by that. I mean, I completely understand where you're coming from. I'd be livid. There was And again, I've yet to see, and I'm a stat, you guys know I'm a stat freak. I always have been. And I've yet to see any statistics that even show where going from taking the proper precautions to hardcore lockdowns, where taking that step helps any. It's you need to take the proper care and precaution. Anything more than that is just inconveniencing people and hurting economies. Maya says most evolution deniers try to rationalize that microevolution is a thing, but macroevolution is not. So evolution inside a species happens, but a species can't evolve into another. Yeah, and I think Maya's basically what you're hitting on there. What you're hitting on, and I agree with you. I'm sure that's what they say. Is you can spin anything to fit your narrative. You're right. I'm sure that makes sense. That's how they would look at it. Chrome says, no, it's not. Many sons of theory is that bombarding Mars with nukes would heat it back up again and create a sort of atmosphere, I think. Basically make it livable without life support. That's interesting. And again, you just never know. I'm a big Elon Musk fan, so I'm not saying this to demean him in any way. I just honestly believe he's equal parts genius and lunatic. So you're never quite sure how to take what he says. Oh, thanks, Jade Man. I'm sorry, Jaden Man. I appreciate that. The poop emoji. Love the poop emoji. We had that question before, DB dude. Is cereal a soup? Why or why not? I don't know. Kinda. But really, I guess in how it's packaged, though, right? With soup, you can just throw that in the microwave. I mean, the canned soup, you got to add water to it, but you just throw it in the microwave. Whereas cereal, you got to add the milk. I don't know. I don't know. That's a question for minds much more adept and deep than my own. Curtis loves poop confirmed. Well, who doesn't, Big Green? Hey, Tremont makes a good point. It says the Mars nuclear thing sounds like the people on top just want to use the big red button. Okay, Chung Boy says cereal is definitely a soup. Sinister Charlie says you can be smart and get insanely rich while also being a mental case. Just look at John McAfee. Yeah, I completely agree with that, Sinister Charlie. I think that's happened a number of times. Ooh. Big Green says depends on how you eat it, because I've seen some weirdos eat cereal with yogurt. I've never seen that with yogurt on it. And I like cereal and I like yogurt, but yeah, I don't know. They're not sharing the same bowl for me. Ugh. Chrome says, did you ever see the creationists talk about the banana disproving evolution and being a sign of God's design? Eventually, when he was shown how we engineered the banana over generations, he recanted. I hadn't seen that. All right, guys, well, I'm going to have to go. Thank you for another just fantastic Free-For-All Friday. Apologies that Susan couldn't see her way to sending out notifications in any large numbers, but you guys know how that goes. Later today, I'm going to try and get Spaz Kids coming home later today. But before that, I'm hoping to get on and just watch for the community tab posting. I'm going to ask you guys for your take on the whole concept about doing the Minecraft videos. And yes, there will be more and more stand-up stuff coming. I'll keep you guys posted on that as I'm putting the act together more and more. I'll be posting them at the Curtis Candy channel, but I'll probably post some of them over here as well so you guys can see them. But never mind all that crap. It's Free-For-All Friday. We know what we're all here for. The conversation is fun. We have a great time together. But the whole time Free-For-All Friday goes on, we're all thinking, it's going to be the good sticky stuff. That's what we're here for. Goose, 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 goodbye. Indeed, Gimster. I know it. You know it. We all know it. We all love it. Let's embrace it. What's the most expensive haircut? Dragon says chemotherapy. Oh. Yeah, I'll keep doing. I just used my razor blade just before I came into the stream. I'm going to keep going with that. Hopefully not the chemo. Although, as you said, it lasts longer too. But as always, Free-For-All Friday, the sticky stuff is popping. I'm feeling good today. I told you guys I've been back to working out, eating right. I don't know what that means for the sticky stuff. You guys tell me. I think you might get some little sticky stuff folks like doing hammer curls and shit. So watch for that. Pampu pampu. Sticky stuff for you. Sticky stuff for you. For you. For you. Free for all. Friday sticky stuff. The best sticky stuff of all. Because we'll bang. Okay. Flashly like buggy. And it's always, most importantly, and it's always doing hammer curls. Goose, 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 goose. Goose. Ah.